Thanks to the support as a channel member, Jack Watson. When if all goes to plan, you're about to see me win a domestic double and then start job hunting for job number 5 on this year's non-league to legend. If it doesn't go to plan, we win nothing and decide if we're going to do one more year here or head somewhere else with our tails between our legs. Hello and welcome to Club 4, part 17 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the Copa del Rey final against Real Madrid, and then I'm going to work out which one of these matches we're going to win the league in, because we should win the league. We're 13 points clear with 6 games to go, and we'll show you that match. I mean, it could be several matches if we balls it up at the first attempt. I know you all like to do the video length cheat in that scenario, but bear this in mind. We are going to be doing some job hunting as well, so it's probably going to be a long one anyway. So don't read too much into video length. You've been warned. Let's go play the Copa del Rey final. Real Madrid are starting to recover a little bit in the league. They are now 19... No, not right. Kev maths time. 17? They're 17 points behind us, but they do have 2 games in hand. We don't play them again in the league. The league is, like I say, pretty much wrapped up. But they are coming back into some form after a pretty rough season from their perspective. So having beaten us in the league recently as well, I imagine they'll fancy themselves in this cup final. But we would very much like to win it. And this is the team that we're going to put out there to try and do exactly that. We've got Simon in goal, a back four of Agostini, Lazarov, Brandenburger and Abad, De Jong, Gavi and Pedri at the midfield, Fati and Osmani out wide, Sukuna up front. If you're wondering why we've got Agostini at left back, was it last episode that Balde broke his ankle, or was it just after last episode? Either way, Balde's broken his ankle. We've tried lots of different options for left back. Brandenburger spent some time out there. We've obviously got Amaferi as well, who's played a little bit there. But Agostini has kind of played there more than anybody in that left back position. He's just very flexible, can play anywhere across that back four, and it's just allowed De Jong to continue playing as the deep line playmaker. The De Jong as a Mazzala experiment has ended. The rest of the midfield are back fit again, though, which is handy. We were having a little bit of a central midfielder injury crisis briefly, but we've recovered from that. So, Barcelona versus Real Madrid, Copa del Rey final, presumably at a neutral venue. I don't actually know where this final is taking place. There you go. The Copa de Su Majestad no idea. Oh, no, is that the name of the competition? Metropolitano de Madrid. Is that Atletico's ground? I don't know. No idea. We're not playing at our place, though, and we're not playing at the Bernabeu. So presumably that means it's neutral. Corner comes in for the first attack of the game for Real Madrid, and we've dealt with it relatively easy. He says he's dealt with it easily. I think that guy is well offside. I think that's being disallowed, but I thought we'd cleared it, but we actually only cleared it as far as a Real Madrid player hovering on the edge of the area. It's come back in, and then I'm not worried here. I'm pretty sure this is about to be ruled out, and it has been ruled out. Excellent. Thuram, the guy who scored, he was actually running back from being even further offside. If you keep an eye on him, he's one of the... There you go. Oh, Gordon Bennett. We're giving the offside for there? I mean, okay, there was 2 offsides then, because Thuram was way offside for that second pass, but we've not even made it that far on the VAR. 2 offsides as part of the same move. If anything, they should have a goal deducted for that. It should be 0 to -1 at this point. But apparently that's not how football works. But if you cheat twice, you should get punished. Right, Osmani's won the ball back here with Real Madrid faffing around, playing the ball around the back four the way we do, but we do it well. And we've not really been able to capitalise on it. Abad, though, is going to try and play it across goal. Ansu Fati's at the far post, nods it down to Pedri. And there is the opening goal. It's Pedri bursting out of midfield. It's a lovely move from us. Ansu Fati doing a lovely job of just nodding it down to Pedri. Abad with the cross as well. It was just well worked from everybody involved. Good stuff from Abad, who has actually played a lot more football this year than I expected him to. And it was a decent cross from him. Lovely nod down from Ansu Fati, and Pedri with the finish makes it 1-0. We are that little bit closer to this domestic double that I think vindicates my position as a... I mean, we get a little bit closer to being a legendary manager if we pull this off. We won the Champions League with Barcelona last season. Obviously, we got the Champions League with Spurs the year before as well. I say we do the passing around better. We've absolutely ballsed up there, but thankfully the Madrid player just hammers it into the crossbar and it goes over. But I think if we can say we spent 2 years in Spain, won the league, the cup, and the Champions League, we can kind of ignore the whole getting knocked out of the Champions League early and not really challenging in the title race last season, because everything else looks good on the CV. And then we just have to work out where we're going next from here. I think there's 2 potential options for me. Feel free to let me know down in the comment section. We're not likely to make a decision today. So your comment will carry some weight. My 2 schools of thought. There's no option to end the series at this point. I still don't think this is a legendary career. But I'm thinking we either go back to the Premier League, win that, and I think that probably does cap it off. If I've won the Champions League and the domestic league from 2 different major leagues, I think that's retirement time. I think we could go back and win the Premier League. And I think regardless of what we do next, we probably have to go back and win the Premier League as a final thing. We started in England. We've kind of failed in the Premier League so far, never even finishing in the top 4, despite winning the Champions League with Spurs while we were there. So I think we do have to go back to the Premier League at some point. It's whether we go there next and have the series finished off in the next 2 or 3 seasons, or do we go and I'd love to go to Italy. We've not managed in Italy in non-league to legend ever. It seems mad that I've never managed in Italy. The attraction of Germany and France is less appealing because with those 2 countries, they're both like an extreme version of Spain. At least in Spain, you've got 2 or 3 clubs who can realistically win the league. In Germany and France, you've got 1 team who can win the league. So you've got 2 options when you go to those countries. You either go as Paris Saint-Germain or Bayern Munich and win the league easily and probably win the Champions League as well, or you go to a smaller club, which feels like an unrealistic decision for a guy leaving Barcelona to do, but you go to a smaller club and have that battle to win the league over the next few years, which just seems like, I don't know, it feels like an unrealistic step back. So I think we're probably looking for one of the big teams in Italy, Juventus, Milan, and Inter, that kind of level of team, or we head to the Premier League and go and get one of the massive teams in the Premier League, Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, somewhere on that kind of level. I mean, after everything we've done with Tottenham, it would be quite fun to finish the series with Arsenal, but I don't know that they'd give me the job because of my exploits with Spurs. That is a thing in Football Manager. So a few different options. Let me know down in the comments what you would like to see me do in these final stages of this career. We definitely are in the end times for non-league to legend this year, but there's a few more jobs we'd like to tick off before we do. Most notably a Premier League win, but if we can win some other domestic leagues somewhere else on the way, I'm not against just going and winning 3 or 4 domestic leagues and then ending the series there with a couple of Champions Leagues as well. It all feels like a good career. So that's the plan. Let me know what you'd do. Meanwhile, we're 3-0 up in this Copa del Rey final. It shows the kind of sensational form we've been in on this little run, and that's not ideal. We've lost Osmani there. He's picked up an injury, and that worries me. When you get a straight red injury like that, slightly different to a straight red card. Try not to confuse them. But when you just get that immediate, comes from nothing red injury, it's never that good a sign, is it? He's probably quite hurt. That might be the last we see of Osmani in this series. If we are working on the assumption that we're almost certainly going to be leaving at the end of the season, that might be it. We might not see him anymore, which would be very sad. Right, Agostini plays it forward to Pedri. Pedri to Ansu Fati. By the way, the mystery third option, which I haven't really discussed, which from a realism perspective, I guess you call it the romance option. Go back to Preston. And that's who we win the Premier League with. It's definitely there at the back of my mind. It's something I've never done in non-league to legend before. I've never returned back to the same club within the same save. But I think we all had quite strong feelings for Preston. And there is that nagging thought of, look what we did with Spurs. Could we have done it with Preston? We were 3rd in the Premier League when I left to go to Spurs. And that's a Preston squad that, despite me taking several key players away, went on to win the Europa League and get to the semi-final of the Champions League without me after losing 4 or 5 key players. Now, obviously, it's quite a decimated Preston squad now. There's a lot of those key players from when I was there who've moved on, so it wouldn't be a case of going straight back in and qualifying for the Champions League straight away. It would be a job that would take a little while, and there's no guarantees that job even becomes available. But it definitely has some romance attached to it, that's for sure. Right, we are going to make a couple of changes here. We're going to change our 2 centre backs because we can. Why not? I think we usually play them that way around with Koundé as the ball-winning guy. And not the ball-winning guy, the ball-playing defender, the ball-winning guy. We don't have a ball winner. We're Barcelona. We don't need people winning balls. We always have the ball. We have no reason to need to win it off somebody else. We always have it. Right, Koundé out to Agostini, and now De Jong to Koundé. I mean, we keep hold of the ball so comfortably. We talked about Madrid doing it before and never looking completely comfortable when we ended up winning the ball back. We do look completely comfortable doing this, and they don't look like getting anywhere near the thing. Even when they get a foot in, we still come away with the ball. Gavi, what a pass from Gavi into Sakuna, and that would have been a wonderful goal. So many passes in the build-up to that, but unfortunately, Sakuna couldn't quite get the shot away before the tackle came in from the Madrid player, and now we look to build things up again out of this midfield. In fact, we have lost the ball. There was a loose ball, and Madrid have come away with it. There's 15 minutes or so left in this game. We're 3-0 up. I would like to think we don't mess it up from here, but for as long as they've got the ball, there's always that fear that one goal could lead to a collapse because they have beaten us significantly a couple of times now during my time here in Spain, and I would not like to see that happen again today. Right, we are going to take off Agostini, bring on Amaferi, and Fati is going to come off as well, and Ngamba will come on that left-hand side for the final 10 or 15 minutes, and then hopefully a lovely old trophy celebration. That's what we're looking for here. We can't, I'm going to say it, we cannot mess it up from here. 5 minutes to go. It's been so comfortable. We've cruised to a Copa del Rey win, which, I mean, it was never really on the agenda. I was never really that bothered. But as soon as it became Real Madrid in the final, we kind of had to try, which is what we've done. And we've done quite well here, haven't we? Oh, look at this. Look at it. It's such lovely football. I suspect Ngamba's probably offside there. But, I mean, it was a lovely move all the same. The referee has got his finger in his ear, and I think he's given it, actually. So let's have a little look from the other angle. De Jong played it back to Pedri. Sakuna nods it down to Ngamba. Yeah, he was never offside. It's 4-0. We have banished any demons we might have had from what Real Madrid did to us in the league last year, from what they've done to us in that match just a couple of days ago. We have comprehensively beaten them. We've won the Copa del Rey. We're so far ahead of them in the league as well. We're going to do a domestic double. And what a time to be alive. What a time to be a Barcelona fan. Everybody all together. Now, look at me, stood there so proudly. Dennis Simon just doing his warm down because he can. And here we go with the trophy lift. Come on now. Beautiful stuff. That's a Copa del Rey, and that's hopefully the first of 2 trophy celebrations that you're going to see in this video, because now we go on and we win the league title unless things completely collapse around us. Who's going to do the cartwheel? Someone did a cartwheel, but it was behind this stupid box. Hideous. Right. I don't think we can win the league against Atletico. Let me have a look. So at the moment, we can finish anywhere from first to third. So 6, this is horrible. 6 games left, 13-point gap. But Real Madrid have got 2 games in hand. So I don't think we're going to win the league against Atletico. I don't think we're showing you this match. Oh, there you go. And Osmani only did a twisted knee, so he'll be absolutely fine. Probably could have played on, you coward. Just seen this pop up in the post-Copa del Rey media nonsense. I'm now one of the top English managers. We're having a look on the Hall of Fame. We're seeing where I actually sit. So if we go to nationality English, I am 8th. Well, I mean, I'm not getting to Bob Paisley levels. I'm not getting to me in the beta with Chelsea levels either, I wouldn't have thought, because that's bonkers. I mean, maybe we could. I am already above Unky Herb, though, which is very pleasant. Who have we got? I mean, Graham Potter. We've got to end up above Graham Potter, haven't we? I mean, getting to Graham Potter levels is definitely doable. In fact, if we were to go and win Serie A and the Premier League and maybe another Champions League along the way, it's completely realistic for me to catch up with Beta Kev. The rest of the series is all about Alpha Kev going after Beta Kev. That's what it's all about. But for now, I'm going to get back to my maths and trying to work out when we can win the league. So we are in the process of defeating Atletico here with 1-0 with 10 minutes to go. We can't win the league here, but the reason I'm showing you it is because if my maths is right, and if the fixture list is going the way I've interpreted it, we could win the league between this match and the next one without playing, because this will put us 16 points clear of Valencia in second place and 20 points clear of Real Madrid, who've got 2 games in hand. So with them having 8 games to go, 8 games is how many points? 20. I don't know if they'll play twice. We could guarantee finishing above Valencia if they don't win their next game, but that's where we are after Atletico. Now we'll go and play Real Sociedad and see if we win the league then. Can't you tell that, it might have been in Non-League to Legend last year, we accidentally won a league off camera. I'm determined not to let it happen again. You're going to see the ends of pretty much every match for the rest of the season now, until we see a title lift, a trophy lift. Right, both Valencia and Madrid won their games between our game and this one, so the league table now looks like this, and surely today definitely could be the day we win the title. So we're 13 points clear of Valencia. They've got 5 games, well, we've got 5 games left, as have they. If we win, they win. It remains a 13-point gap. So regardless, if we win, Valencia cannot win the league. They're away against Real Valladolid, the team I can't say. Real Madrid, on the other hand, they are 17 points behind. They have 7 games left to play. They're away against Atletico, who obviously would quite like to prevent them from being able to win the title. So if they win, they'll have 6 games left, and it will still be a 17-point gap. So if they win and we win, they could still win the league. If they do anything other than win and we win, that's it. We win the league here. So we want a victory for us away against Real Sociedad and a victory for Atletico at home against Real Madrid, and that will be enough for us to win the title. We're going to cut the second half now, because if it doesn't happen, I don't want this to be a 40-minute video of me just showing you entire matches. So second half coming at you in a moment. That's the team that's starting the game. Well, winning the title today is starting to look a little less likely. Sakuna's got himself sent off for an absolute wild man challenge in the first half, or Brandenburger charging through, trying to score from left back there. Real Madrid don't actually kick off until later in the day either, which is really frustrating. So even if we do win, we don't know. We won't get the title. We won't get the trophy lift after this match. It will have to wait until our next game, and we have to hope it's not glitched there. The desired outcomes remain the same. We need to try and win and hope that Real Madrid don't win. But yeah, it's not going to be settled in this match. We're not even winning this match yet. Remember, Real Sociedad were one of those teams who were doing pretty well until relatively recently, when Real Madrid have pushed them out of that top 4. They've got 2 times Champions League winner Tylan Bullet playing for them at right back, so they've obviously got something about them. But we're just we're struggling a little bit, being down to 10 men. It was an absolute wild tackle from Sakuna. The sort that you always get in big games in Football Manager. I'm sure you've seen them plenty of times before. Are we going to bring Frankie de Jong on to do his little Mezzala cameo again that he's done before? In fact, I can probably show you the red card so you can see. This is what we're dealing with. He's tracked back from so far. So Bullet wins the ball there. And then that's Sakuna charging in now. I have no idea what he's thinking. And obviously it's a straight red. He obviously really wanted the ball back. But that has left us in quite the pickle, and we go into these final 10 minutes still at 0-0, which is not really what we were looking for today. Valencia are drawing in their game, so I think if everything ends like this, I don't think Valencia can catch us. But obviously Real Madrid still can, unless they lose against Atletico. I think if we draw and they lose, we still win the league. This is where Kev Maths becomes a problem, and we just kind of have to trust the game to be right. Good job. We don't have to fact check the game in these situations. So final minutes of this match, we do not look like scoring at all. In fact, we're having to defend, and we have conceded a late goal. Good old Football Manager with its end of season drama wants to make us work for this title. Clearly, we're not going to win it today, regardless of what happens in the Real Madrid game. I don't want to see the stupid replay of that one. At least this way we might get the trophy lift at the new camp. Well, that wasn't ideal. Next match. This is an interesting twist. Barcelona are close to administration. The board would like to make it clear the serious financial state the club now finds itself in. The club is £747 million in debt, with losses of £22.65 million per month, or last month. This is an unsustainable financial position, and if extra funds can't be found, then the prospect of the club entering administration in the near future is a real possibility. I mean, they've just given me a £23 million transfer budget for next season. This club has lost its mind. Don't give me the transfer, give me no transfer budget and tell me to sell some players. It's baffling. In other news, I don't think we can win the title in this next match because Real Madrid played on Saturday. It's now Sunday. They have won their 2 in-betweeny games, no longer any games in hand, but it's an 8-point gap between us and them. So even if we win, it would be an 11-point gap and they'd still have 4 games to play. So let's see when they play again. Do they play again before we do? Oh, they do. So we could win the title there if Villarreal do us a favour. I don't think I need to show the Osasuna game. So we'll just play this one off camera and then be back for the next one. Right, we really should be able to win the league on this one. Real Madrid just keep on winning, but we are now the team kicking off later in the day and against relegation-threatened Almeria as well. So the situation is Madrid now only have 2 games remaining and there is a 5-point gap between us and them. If we win our match, that becomes an 8-point gap. And even with my poor grasp of mathematics, I know you can't get 8 points in 2 matches. So if we beat Almeria, we win the league. The only danger then becomes if we go into administration before the end of the season and get a points deduction. So once again, we're going to jump forward. Second half, we should be well in the lead by then. And hopefully we get to see a trophy lift. That would be ideal. This is the team that's starting the game. Sakuna's back from suspension, which is nice. So heading into the second half, we are 2-1 up. We conceded a goal towards the end of that first half. We were completely in control up until that point. And I mean, this is a team we absolutely should be beating. So we should be about to secure the title, but conceding that goal has left me a little bit on edge. And Dennis Simon is there to make the save to just stop them grabbing a second one. If they scored again, I think I really do start to panic. And this whole adding some tension to the end of the season thing, pack it in, please, Football Manager. Let me just win the league. Now there's a big gap here for De Jong to hit. And somehow the goalkeeper made his way across and made the save. That looked like a goal from that free kick, was absolutely nailed on. Lazarov has picked up the scraps and now it's with Gavi. Gavi to De Jong. Somebody score a goal, please, to just calm me down a little bit. I really would like to win this title. I would like to see the trophy be lifted, and then I would like to leg it before this club goes into administration. So that's not on my CV. Just get out of here. Gavi, the captain, the leader, scores the goal to put us 3-1 up with half an hour to go. That should be the goal that confirms a first La Liga title in 5 years for Barcelona. Yes, we've spent a few quid to do it. Apparently, we've spent more money than the board should have given us. They couldn't really afford what we've spent, which, I mean, there'll be a lot of people in the comment section saying Kev's bankrupting a football club. I would like to point out, I've actually reduced our wage budget. We're spending less on wages now than when I arrived, and I've been within all of my other budgets all the way through. I've not exceeded a budget. I'm within my transfer budgets. We've sold players as well as buying players. Yeah, we've spent a lot, but they've given me a lot to spend. So I am absolutely putting the fault of this on the board. I don't think getting knocked out of the Champions League in that playoff round has helped this year, because obviously getting through to the Champions League final can paper over the cracks a lot when it comes to financial problems. We've probably missed out on 30 or 40 million pounds by not getting through to by not winning the Champions League this year. But you can't bank on winning the Champions League every year. That's the actions of a crazy person. Right, we're going to drop De Jong back into the back four here. Hold on, I'm trying to bring Temel on. I'm trying to do that. There we go. And then we're also going to take off him and bring on him and swap those two over. Just taking off the players who've got the lowest rating and shuffling people around. Fairly standard stuff. Simon's just going to cover this and play it back out to De Jong, who's played in a lot of positions for us this year. I did just try and bring Messi in, by the way, from the... we're going into administration. What's the next step? Try and sign Messi. He's in my Spurs, or my old Spurs coaching setup, and he didn't want to come because of the financial problems. So that was my barometer of how much financial trouble Barcelona is. When Messi doesn't want to be in Barcelona, that means there's financial problems going on. That was my way of confirming, and absolutely he has got no intention of setting foot anywhere near this city currently. Right, we're going to make a final couple of changes. Aspas is going to come on, and we're also going to bring on La Cruz in midfield. John Watt, by the way, is now on the transfer list at his own request because he's not played enough football this year. He's an 18-year-old Scottish international who's played maybe 5 international games for Scotland at 18 years old. I think he needs a little bit of a reality check. This is Barcelona, but he's certainly someone who can be sold in the summer. And I think the job of whoever takes over from me is a relatively simple one. There's a number of players here that could fetch £100 million plus. Just sell a few of them. There we have the trophy lift. We have won La Liga. It's our first top-level league title of non-league to legend this year. We've done the domestic double. We've won La Liga. Our work here at Barcelona is done. They are going to give us the title, which suggests they're not going to give us a points deduction this year. So it's somebody else's problem, which is absolutely what I am all about. And also gives us a nice little realism reason for me to want to leave Barcelona now. I've won every trophy it's possible for us to win. I've got nothing left to prove here. Why damage my reputation by sticking around at a club who are about to go into administration, are going to have to sell a number of key players, and therefore will be less competitive next year? There is no logical reason for me to stick around. I've done my job. That's not ideal. I brought Aspas on with 10 minutes to go there, and it cost us £15 million. The board are probably fuming. But we have completed the quadruple. What a way to phrase it. There's your confirmation. We have won La Liga ahead of schedule, so the board are delighted. I've led Barcelona to glory. The board are very happy, despite the fact that there's no money at all left in this football club. Lots of confirmations of various things. We don't look at that. I mean, just to confirm, this isn't all my fault, because a lot of you are going to say, oh, it's all that transfer debt, Kev. This is all your fault. Is it? I mean, that's a much, much larger number than that. We're spending less on wages than when I arrived. And the transfer debt, although 176 million of transfer debt, I mean, I guess it's quite a lot. The club's still nearly £1 billion in debt. This is absolutely not my doing. I won't accept that this is my fault that this club is struggling financially. It's their own stupid decisions. But importantly, I've now got another trophy. So if we have a look on the nationality, I've now moved up to just behind Graham Potter, and we are continuing to chase Beta Kev. But for now, I think we see out the rest of the season, hopefully don't go into administration, and then how long have I got left on my contract? Because I don't really want to walk away from a contract that I'm earning a lot of money on. Yeah, see, for me to leave now, I'm giving up £5 million without another job to walk into. So I think we probably need to find a job rather than just resign. But tomorrow will definitely be a job hunt. What jobs are available, particularly in Italy, is what we're looking at. Big clubs in Italy, big Premier League clubs. So these are all the insecure jobs. There's nothing majorly tempting there at the moment. I don't really want to get caught into a rebuilding Barcelona situation. That might be about to happen if no good jobs come up, because I certainly don't want to be unemployed either. Well, we got there in the end. We have won the quadruple. Add in the Champions League from last year as well. What a 2 years it's been at Barcelona. Tomorrow, job hunt. Or trying to fix the financial problems to keep this club out of administration. We'll see how it goes, depending on what's available. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.